Hell nah, bro. I wish I still live with my mama. I miss her food. Know what I mean? Rent free. Well, I mean, I don't probably pay rent and shit, but what? It ain't shameful at all. I think, honestly, I feel like people shouldn't be embarrassed to live with their parents. You know what I mean? In other cultures, you know, they be, it's like a Western thing, dude. I don't know. But dude, honestly, fuck what other people think. Because the same people that be judging you, talking about some, you live with your parents, they're probably living with their parents. You know what I mean? Like, really, who are you trying to impress? I'm trying to get generational wealth. I'm trying to build an empire, little puppy. I'm gonna have $1 million couch. Listen, little puppy man, I'm gonna have $1 million couch. You could crash on it anytime. You feel me? Any family member could crash on it. I got kicked out, man. I was homeless for a few years, and I was in Cali. And now I just sleep in like a 1x1 room with a couch. No, absolutely, bro. You know, you gotta persevere. It's life. Just get back up. You feel? Honestly, it was a thing between like it was a family thing. Like my sister. Can you edit this out the video? Like just between me and you. They still turning, you know, and it's optimism, you know, it's mindset. Like I kind of face my problems. I try not to like run from them. Like some people, like they'll just play video games and like hide in VR chat and stuff. You know, I don't do that. I only play this game probably like 6-ish hours a day. You feel me? And for like the other 6, I'm usually just working. I'm trying to escape reality. I don't want to think about my kid. That's life struggles and shit.
The reason why I had to move out, I'm class of 2020 and I decided to join the military. And here I am now, 2 years in service, active duty as a 31 Bravo military policeman. So I started my career off early. I'm getting deployed to Poland soon for the Ukraine shit. But yeah, it's hard, don't get me wrong. One thing as a soldier is like coming out of jail, you know? By the time you come back home, right, to like where it all began, it felt like you're out of place. You don't belong there anymore. And all the shit you experienced felt like it was a lie. You're right now, you're in a happy dream, you know? And when you go back to work and stuff like that, that's a dream right there. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's tough. So like when kids say, man, I can't wait to get out of this house. I'm gonna do my own laundry. I'm gonna cook for myself. I'm gonna buy all this cool ass shit. I gotta pay internet bill, insurance, car bills. I have 2 cars. So I'm paying over like 1,000 or like 800 minimum a month. And that's only on like car bills.
I just live with myself, obviously, but also depends on the age. I think depends on the house as well. Like if your parents are rich and you have your own like house in that house, there's no problem with you staying there. But I can't imagine me dating a 40-year-old man who still lives in a room at his parents' place. I won't shame that person for it, but like we do need our own space, you know? And my parents never have been rich or in any kind. And we had a family of 5 people at home, and I had this small room, and it just I couldn't make my homework really well, and my school was going shit, so I just decided to move to the other side of the country, and that really helped me with my mental health. I think you can have time for yourself without like people actually judging you, so I just moved out of the house and started living by myself, and it just helped me. Like I started to be more independent. I had my own mind. My parents weren't like making a problem out of it. My siblings were not here in my own house, so I could make my homework. I could focus more on myself instead of being like so busy with other people. It just makes you want to focus on yourself more, I think. So that helped. I have chronic depression. So depression, I don't know how to say it in English. Just depression that like goes on pretty long, and there's a small chance of it going away. Right now, how I am in life, like I enjoy my friends on VRC. That makes me really happy. I'm gonna meet them soon. That's something I really look up to. But am I happy? I don't know. I still have a lot of choices to make. I might want to move somewhere else to another country. It just brings a lot of stress. I have been redoing an education, which is also giving a lot of stress and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just not happy, but surviving. I'm surviving. A lot of people say like money doesn't make happy, but I think in some way money can help you to make you feel better. So it can help you, like not money on itself does make you feel better, but I also have stress syndrome, like makes my whole body fuck up. So if I had money, a lot of money, I wouldn't have to work, and there's less stress. I can pay off my debt, my student loan. I can pay off everything. I give my family a bigger house. I can make people happy, which will maybe result to me being happy. But social pressure is like a big one of the reasons I don't feel mentally okay. So maybe money can help.
In today's modern world, not really, man. It's tough out there. The support of your family can go far past like being 18 and shit like that. Like I don't think that there should should be any shame in that, at least in my head for it. I mean, I couldn't think of one. Like I said, it's crazy out there right now, man. And what's to be shamed that you have a family that can afford to support you. And number two, I can't make a two on my hand, but whatever, but like will actively support you. Like that shit's really important and commendable. Like, I don't know. I think it kind of comes into that. A lot of people want other people to have it as hard as they did. And because they weren't able to get that extra support, I feel like it comes from a place a little deeper like that, where it's, maybe they wish they could have had that kind of support. So they have some ire for people who do. Who knows? No, yeah, it's just, I'm out on my own and shit. I'm definitely an adult. I'm in my 30s. It's just me and my lady, happy as can be. I don't think if you told the young me the kind of stuff that I've done and the kind of stuff that I do, that I'd like believe you, I'd probably be pretty proud of myself. So like, I think I've done good. I work where I want to work. I got my passions. I have my good times, and I got my amazing partner. So I'm happy with it.
Only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing.
If you trying to get yourself together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you up in school to be a doctor and shit, that shit takes forever. I mean, if you just sitting in your parents' house, ain't working, ain't going to school, then yeah, that's it. I do live with my mom, but I'm in school to be a truck driver right now.
I don't live with my parents anymore, but I don't consider myself to be an adult.
How old are you?
24.
You ain't an adult. What? You was a grown ass man.
Maybe I can act like an adult, but in my head, I'm so young,
I mean, shit, man. I understand that, but still, you still an adult. I'm immature too, you know what I'm saying? I'm still an adult. I'm 21. My dad, 52, and he watched cartoons and all that shit.
I am most definitely and coherently, no shit, real shit, I am completely indebted to my mother. I moved out as early as possible. So my thing is, my mother has done so much for me in the past. We're talking about putting on diapers. In short, I believe I am completely indebted to my mother. We're talking about endless amounts of pay. So everything that I make in my life, I at least dish out a certain amount to her to ensure that she can take care of herself. Even though I'm her child, I feel that it's as if I'm devoted to her, because we all understand that your mother is your first lover. Fresh out of the womb, the minute you look into her eyes, you are in love with her. You are in love with her. You are in love with her. Your father's right there, but then what if your father disappears? This is your mother. You are to take care of her no matter how much money you have. If you have little, you give us at least half of that to her to make sure that she is okay. Even though she says, hey, no, I don't need this, you give it to her anyways to show that how much you love her and how much you are grateful that she has given you life. You have the choice of whether or not to let them die off and completely forget about them, or keep them in the back of your mind. Hey, should I talk to my mom or not? I need this little bit of money. Can you spare this? And you're like, no. How much is it? How much is it? It's such and such and such and such. Okay, give me a second. All right, I'm giving you this money right here, right now. You let me know when you get it. If you don't get it, I'm gonna send another batch over your way. Wherever it goes, if somebody took it, who the hell cares? All that matters is that it got to you. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm in an apartment right now for way too much money a month. It depends on a couple of factors. If you have good relationships with your parents where that's not an issue, then it's really up to them and the parent. It's not disgraceful at all, because if you have a good relationship with them, like if I had a better relationship with my mother, I would probably still be in their house instead of in an apartment, because it's just easier to save money to get my own house. Also, for that factor, with depending on where they live, how the economies worldwide are going, it's not that bad of an idea if the house is already paid off, because you can save money on stuff. If I had better relations with her, we're a bit rocky because we have a lot of disagreements over things, which is fine. So instead of going with that and living with her and being around that, because we have enough disagreements, I'm actually out and doing my own thing. I still talk to them. It's not like I just excommunicated them. It's just, I know for a fact us living in under the same roof, again, would not be the best idea. If you're going to move in with friends, you need to be careful about it, like very careful. Because meeting a person, like in this environment, even though it's VR chat, just say in real life, meeting up in real life, having a good time, you don't have to worry about stuff. Or if you have a disagreement, you can both separate, cool down, and then come back and figure stuff out. But if you're living together, you have to deal with their habits you didn't even know they had. You have to do all this realize these different things that you never had to deal with. And then if you have disagreements, what are you going to do? Leave the house? No, I was going to have a friend move in with me and then he bailed, which was fine. But yeah, that was about as close as I got. Otherwise, basically, since I got out of college, I've been just living by myself. When I originally got out of college, everything was going fine and it was going well, and I was really looking forward to everything. And then in recent years, the economy has been having a lot of issues, and I've moved to a job that should be like a godsend where I can earn a shit ton of money. But if we're going into a recession, then it doesn't matter. I could make $1 million a month and it wouldn't matter. If the dollar's not worth $1, what's the point? We're right on the peak of going into one, and the easiest way to look at that is just watch what the stocks are doing. They'll have one day of going up and then 6 days of going down.
I think it depends on the culture that you're in. In some cases, the patriarch of the family will want to keep the whole family together. As you know, if you're on a farm and it requires a lot of workers, you're a better chance of making that farm work. If we're in the city and the culture is that the children go out, after they grow up, they get their schooling, they turn into useful adults to go off into the world if they have to come back. In that culture, there could be a stigma. As long as the parents understand how hard it is out there for the children. But the United States is all about self-sufficiency. It's all about lifting yourself by your bootstraps. And the majority of Americans will say, if you can't do it by yourself, then there's something wrong with you. That's a conservative point of view. I'm not conservative. I believe that everybody has baggage. Everybody needs help. Nobody gets along without help from somebody. It just doesn't happen, especially if they're going to be adults that contribute to society, that can support themselves. You don't even get an apartment on your own. You're getting help from an app. You're getting help from a realtor. Is it wrong to live with your parents after becoming a full-fledged adult, being able to live on your own? I say no, but there are issues that might have to be dealt with. Self-esteem might be one of them. And it's made worse if the parent is disapproving. If a parent says, listen, you're a nobody, you never were, you never will be. That puts a heavy burden on a kid. There's always challenges. Life is hard. If you take on sometimes the hard things and get them solved, then you have a chance of having an easier life. It's not like I'm here to be a counselor to the whole world or anything like that, because there's a lot of people smarter than I am. But, I just try to get through as best I can. I still have issues, and one of them is being just not focused enough. I tend to get distracted easily.
The current kind of climate for young people is pretty difficult to actually get started. If you want to buy a house, you have to have a crazy deposit. All of the people who sell property would rather you rent the property. Estimations in the UK reckon that there'll probably be a recession within the next 3 months. So to be honest, I tend to believe it. But it depends on your mindset. If you're not really ready to work for these things and you just have a really blasé attitude towards it, then maybe you need to sort something out yourself and get to work. But I don't think it's that shameful unless it takes you, until your 40s or something.
I mean, living with parents as an adult, it depends on the situation. Like, if you're just a lazy bum living in your parents' house because you don't want to move out and you can't get a job, that's not very cool. But like, you're tight on money, they're tight on money, and you have like that whole family lives in one household thing, then that makes sense. Also, I feel like it also depends a little bit on age. Like, if you're anything past 30 and you're living with your parents, there's something weird going on.
No, especially not these days. I can't say anything on that hasn't already been said, As long as, you're not, making that, a long-term plan, at least in my case, I sort of, have my ma's house as a sort of escape when I need it. Furthermore, if I really needed, a place to crash or whatever, I wouldn't feel bad about it. I only, cleared the bird's nest last October, so it's coming close close to a year now, but I'm still like within walking distance of my mom's place. And I think my mom works herself to the bone, right? I'm really just more than anything happy that, you know, she like has an empty nest now finally and gets to, you know, have more time for herself. But I can still like fall back on her if I need to, and she doesn't mind that.
Okay, so it depends. So is this individual working to get out of that house, or are they living with them as beneficiaries, as in, so hey, I'm living with my family because they can't take care of themselves and I have to watch over them. They're elderly. I'm not getting any benefits out of this. I am taking my own money and I'm putting it towards them and myself, or am I reaping the benefits of living with them, being that they're elderly, they can't take care of themselves? You're having your parents shadow you. So they're pretty much saying, hey, Sonny, so I know you're trying to get a job, but it's okay. Just go ahead, sit here in your room for the rest of your days, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do whatever I can, take care of you. And then finally, when they kick the bucket, you're just like, oh no, my parents died. Let me go ahead and reap everything that they had. 100, 200, 300 thousands of dollars. Are we talking like that?
And then I moved back in with my dad, and this was just before the pandemic hit, so I kind of lucked out on that one, I think. Am I an adult? Well, I don't know. I don't know that. I would say technically yes. Well, let's say over 30-ish.
I think it's very common in my family to just live with your parents for a long time. It's good for money, I feel like. I mean, I have a really bad, like a hard time talking to people. I'm very introverted. I can't really like they conversate very easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, I'm very, I work in the gaming industry and stuff like that. So gaming in general is something I'm really passionate about. And, like, it's been really cool to watch, like, the divergent path of, like, VR as a gameplay vehicle and the way that it, you know, it's basically moving at super speed compared to traditional gaming because it has the shoulders of traditional gaming to stand on. And VR just in general, it's a really cool thing. Like, me and my friends, we get together once a week and hang out and drink and stuff. Like, a lot of us, people get older and they move out of state and stuff like that. So it's really cool that there's a way to still hang out with people, to meet new people. Like, I've only been doing VR like heavy for like 3 or 4 months or something like that, I'd say. I really do enjoy it, and it's a really cool thing to watch evolve and grow and be this thing that kind of runs parallel to normal gaming as its own thing. So yeah, exactly. Like my buddy who I play with a lot, he does like worlds and avatars and stuff like that. There's a huge community of super creative, super talented people on here who are blazing the trail in like 3D. You know, there's kids far younger than me who are a million times better at Unity than I'll ever be. And it's like kind of like how my generation somehow learned how to do HTML on MySpace. It's interesting to see a younger generation take like an interest in like 3D modeling, programming, game engines and stuff like that. And it's really exciting to see.
I think life is an accident. We didn't choose to be here. And even between the parents that we had, the fact that we're on a planet that happens to be in the right spot to produce life, there's a lot of randomness. So I have to grab the opportunities that I can to make things worthwhile. Mind you, I'm not distressed because in an instant I couldn't be here, either that I never started or that my life is snuffed out. But while I'm here, I am the one view of the world that's unique, that's in this universe. So after having the accident occur that I'm here, I want to improve the view of the world.
You know, that came so out of left field, but I'm really glad it happened. I think I got my VR fixed for the day just off of that. I come on here because I'm like bored and lonely in my apartment, and you know, I think that was kind of what I needed, like to ramble at someone for a good like 30 minutes or something.
Kindness is contagious. When you are kind, you inspire others. Be the spark. Spreading kindness merchandise available now.